There's some things not quite working right here. Let's get in. Let's talk about this. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be in your part of the world.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
It is so good to see you. My name is Jeff Fritz, and today is October 30th, 2025. We're going to write a little bit of code today. How you doing? Oh, I'm so frustrated. It's not even funny. Yeah. Things have been taking way too long. Things are not working quite right that are suddenly broken. I don't have time or patience for what's going on, but I've got to get in. See, quotes are broken. I don't know why. They're broken. Literally, stuff that was working, suddenly, no. Not even a response, not even feedback or interaction or any kind of a clue as to why these things aren't working. I don't get it. I'm not happy about it. Map entries are working. It missed the first couple folks, Pittsburgh, Melbourne, a couple of those. And it's showing with the new pin icons. So we've still got some work to do there, but my PC decided to reboot overnight, so all my settings were forgotten, so I had to go reset everything. It's been quite the morning already here. Let me get some music playing in the background, and then we'll go talk to chat for a little bit. This is perfect. Let's start with this. Control-Alt-Delete. This is music that's DMCA-free. It's royalty-free. Check it out at streambeats.com. Big thanks to Harris Heller and his team of creators for this music that we're listening to today. The folks at Gunner have a promo that they want me to do, but it's not ready yet. Like, they won't turn it on, they said, until my afternoon stream. I'm like, I get like 10 times more people on my morning stream. Nope, can't do it. Okay. So, it's been one of those days already. Let me bring over... move... I swapped the wheels on my chair. I got a set of those roller skate wheels, the rollerblade wheels, and it rolls around a bit better now. I was having all kinds of problems with it getting caught in the carpet and stuff. It's better. I don't know. I'm one of those folks that doesn't mind improving my gear. So let me say hello to the chat room right over here. We're broadcasting live on Twitch and YouTube. Hello, C Sharp Titan. Good to see you there. Ram Tenna. Yeah, Charlie was giving me fits when I was starting up this morning. Made one or two little changes and it popped right up. Napalm Codes, how you doing there? M. Pulowski, hello to you. Yeah, looks like we've got streaks working. They introduced streaks almost a year ago, and I have no idea how to use them or what they are, and there's no hints in my dashboard here about what to do with them, so, hey, congratulations. Sure. Patty boy, how you doing there in Glasgow? Yep, the hat command worked. C3PO, for some reason, that quote didn't work. You know what, I think the global cooldown is kicking in here and blocking everything. How you doing there, Robson Previato in Sao Paulo? Yep, it plotted that one. So here, I can go over and show you. The pins are appearing on the map, to be sure. There we go. So what's the top speed with the new wheels? No. How are they hosted? How is what hosted, Cygamma? You've seen people on Twitter saying that Windows 11 new update causes Task Manager not to have so many instances. Not sure if it's true or not. Don't know. It installed a patch overnight and it forced a reboot. So all kinds of things that I had left set up, and I was like, you know what? I'll just come back to this in the morning. Gone. My notes that I was doing, that I had up, here's what we were working on for the map. Yeah, gone. So, but the changes that they've been making in Windows 11, I'm not 100% with. So, how you doing there? Victory 215. Hello. Yes, rainy Pittsburgh. Did it pick up that one? Nope, still didn't pick it up. And it is quite rainy here in the Northeast right now. Don't know why it didn't pick up Pittsburgh there. That's weird. Yep, one failed. So this is one of those where I'm like, why? Like, it should ignore modifiers like rainy. McNett's in Berga, Spain. There we go. I see that one. So, I feel like the pins are a little bit small. So, yeah, I should have been using... I normally use Obsidian to keep notes. However, I have a couple of projects that I'm working on that I need to be careful not to show online, so I've been avoiding using that app altogether when I'm on stream. I should have put it into a GitHub issue. So, not backed up. No, I didn't even save it. It's not even a backup issue. It's I just left Notepad open and didn't save it. Is Windows 11 bad technically? No. There are decisions that are being made about features that are in it that aren't my cup of tea. That aren't the things that I enjoy using. The latest patches, I've had my machine configured as a developer machine now for 5-6 years. I have it configured with all these creativity things. When my machine boots up, I can show you this. Yeah, give me the... I have 16 microphones on my computer. I have 3 cameras on this computer. 2 video capture devices. And Windows reboots and prompts me, you know, hey, what do you use your computer for? Are you a developer? Do you play games? Do you create? And I'm like, why am I answering this question? It didn't change any settings. It apparently didn't change any settings. And respectfully, you could have derived that information by just taking a quick look and looking for some of those key things that might be running on the machine. Hey, how do we look at as far as sound devices that are configured? What do we look at as far as video input devices are configured, and so forth? And it feels like they tried to make it look like a fresh install when they were performing an upgrade on an existing machine. And I feel like that's something that could have been made much easier, more friendly, with a little bit of intuition. Yes, 16 microphones. Yes. Right? Like, I'll bring that back up, sure. Right, so there's webcams, there's inputs for my mixer. I have I have an audio mixer right over here. Right? How many people have a full sound mixer plugged into their PC? I do. Because I have this microphone, I have wireless microphones, I have an extended microphones that go over to the other machine. I have microphones coming off of this camera, that camera, the inputs that are coming in off of other devices. There's also the standard microphone ports that are on this, and the other faux microphones that come in from NVIDIA Broadcasting. My headset microphone when I plug in my Oculus, my MetaQuest headset. So, yeah, I've got 16 microphones. Like, that's a thing. Are they all real? Yes. Yes, they are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 just on the mixer. There's 4 on the webcams. I'm up to 13. There's a port on the front and the back of this PC. The Oculus and the NVIDIA. So the NVIDIA is a fake one. So yes. Yes. You have an issue where sometimes Windows randomly select microphones. Yes. Yes. Windows will decide to randomly select microphones. And that's feedback that I've given them. But here's something that some feedback that I've given them that hasn't been acknowledged yet. Here's my list of microphones. What's the problem? What order is this? It's not in the order of which one I prefer, because the one I prefer is all the way down here, and it's actually not the one that I prefer. It's set to voice mod. The one I prefer is this one, because this microphone is plugged into port 1 of my mixer, so I'd prefer it to be that one. So why is it set to everything else? My output is set to the correct one, because I have 2 sets of outputs that feed into the mixer. But what's this order? Like, it's not alphabetical. It's not it's not grouping together common entries here. Oh my goodness. B Holmes Dev with the raid. Hello, hello. Welcome in, raiders. How you doing there? Thank you so much for the raid. So that's another challenge that I'm having right now with the folks from Windows, and they haven't acknowledged that yet. So, how you doing? Thank you so much for the raid. Hello, hello. Bringing your viewers over here to join us. How's things? Really appreciate you raiding over. Coder Newbie chiming in from Manchester. We've got our map up, so when folks chime in and say hello, and they share explicitly where they're watching from as accurately or as inaccurately as you'd like, we drop a pin on the map to kind of share a little bit of information about where folks are watching from. And as you can see, we do have somebody who's trying to have a little bit of fun with us, Chuck, saying they're watching from the Mariana Trench. How you doing there, Griff? Welcome in. Hello, hello. So that's our map, and we're going to be working on tuning and improving things on the map here today. There's a couple other things in the chatbot that we're going to improve, and then we're going to take this and integrate it further with our social media application called TagzApp. Unable to find location, request canceled. I don't know. Really? 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 That's weird. Do people at Microsoft read the feedback issues? Yes. They're required to read and acknowledge feedback issues within 48 hours. That is something that they are measured on. Yes. There are people who are being graded on how frequently they review and respond to feedback issues. Yes. When you click through either Visual Studio feedback or Windows feedback, yes. Hey, B Holmes Dev, I'm not familiar with your stream. Let us know a little bit about what you were doing there on your channel, and we'll drop a quick shout out here for our friends on my channel. Thank you so much for the raid. There we go. Read and ignore, you mean acknowledge? No, they actually have to do something. There are triage buttons, there are comments that they can place on those, and they're required to do something with it. So thank you so much for that raid. Really appreciate it. Fantastic. Let me pan around here and see. Just catch up real quick. Okay. Haunted Abbey. Hello. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, there we go. Argentina, yeah, we got... it dropped a pin in Buenos Aires. Close enough. I mean, when... For some of the countries I preloaded, it just grabs the capital of the country and drops a pin there when you say you're from a country. And that's okay. It's close enough, right? It could place a pin somewhere in the middle of the country that's wherever, but putting it somewhere near the capital, close enough. So thank you so much for sharing. And we did some improvements on how it's aggregating these pins. I think we could still do a little bit better with those. We'll be working on that a little bit today. There was some work that we were doing on how you could customize the pins. That code broke at the end of stream on Tuesday. We're going to go through and fix and improve that a little bit. There you go. Frank tuning in from Montreal. Zoom in a little bit there. Let me see. Yeah, for some reason the tour isn't showing. And that frustrates the heck out of me. Like, there's a tour button that should be appearing here, and it's not. Where did it go? It's not that one. It's not that one. Down here. Components, pages. Yep. And where is it? Height and width. Yeah. No, let's take you down to 900. See if we can get a refresh on that. It says hot reload succeeded, but I don't see it. There it is. It's a little bit better. I still think we can do better. Am I still enjoying Visual Studio 2026? Found any issues, bugs? Found a few things. Found a few. So, we'll look at improving that a little bit. There's Mariana Trench. Southern South America, 2 viewers in South America. And there's Haunted Bay in India. Lancashire. Yeah, that'll get plotted here in just a second after it's done zooming around a little bit. Finishes the tour. So, there we go. Right. Manchester. No, it didn't. Why didn't it plot Lancashire? Anybody know if Visual Studio 2022 extensions are compatible? Depends. There are some that are working and some that aren't. There we go. Surly Dev, why are we not getting a plot for you? We got one for Coder Newbie. We got Eric plotted. Yeah, it didn't plot Surly Dev here. Here, Haunted. I can fix that one. Stand by. I have a lookup feature here that I can use. And we can move that one. There we go. Move that one. Oh, Sean, Castle and Key Distillery. Didn't pick that one up. And actually, I want to see, is it, for some reason we didn't get Surly Dev loaded in here yet. Yeah, I need to get a report of the ones that are failing. So we can do something with those. But that's not where I want to go today. I want to start off with the customizing of the pins. Right now, it's got these hard-coded pins in here. So I want to be able to inject the new pin logic and have it load. And this is where we left off last time. And the code Copilot generated for us broke, putting it politely. So we're going to go and clean up some of that. Frankfort, Kentucky, now that should pick up. But it looks like... See, the queue isn't showing me anything on the queue on the dashboard, which tells me that doesn't work quite right. Yeah, see, and some of the other text commands aren't working either. And I think that's the global cooldown interfering here. Let me go find, before I go into that, let me go find, right, global quote cooldown. Yeah. It's down in quote feature. Why is it listed 4 times? And I should be able to do that. I'm going to leave that. Where is this being called? It's being called after a chat message. Every chat message is received. That's why. Okay. So let's get rid of this from here. Drop into here. Yeah, execute on global cooldown and then activate the global cooldown. Execute the handler and activate the global cooldown. Yeah. That should be better. Yeah, Leslie Richardson, I saw, is at your group this evening. Very cool stuff. I'm going to recycle Charlie here. You've been to Castle and Key? I've heard good things about it. About Castle and Key. C# Titans had issues with Copilot where you changed the LLM model partway through and it did a number on my code. Yes, I have seen that also. Where models conflict and weird things happen. Yes. And it's quite frustrating. Back over here. You know what? Let's get that started. Yeah. So that looks better already.
I've calculated your odds of successful deployment. You're not going to like it? Then again, I don't like anything.
I like that personality for Charlie. So, when last Thursday, so a week ago, when we were on front page, Mrs. C# Fritz, she had no idea about Charlie. Like, she knew that I was working on upgrading my bot, and she's like, yeah, okay, whatever. And she saw some of the quotes and things that Charlie writes and was surprised. No, Surly Dev didn't. Try your pin again. That should get picked up. So let me see, cleaning up. Yeah, there we go. No, didn't get. It's ignoring you for some reason. That's weird. Let's grab the console and take a look here and see if we can see why it's ignoring Surly Dev. Checking if location's already known. Did it plot? No. No, I still have 3 in the UK. Charlie's not able to spell Lancashire? Yeah. I did change the icons for Halloween. That's right. Dare I say... Darn Skippy. Oh, I love that icon. I love that icon. Part of me wants to leave that around all the time. And there's another version of that Skippy icon for the Christmas holidays. So. And see, it's ignoring, I'm on here. Yeah, actually, Sean, it has you on just Castle. So, I will change that to Tulsa. There it is. Interesting. So, where was I? So, I need to figure out why it's not picking up Surly Dev here and literally not appearing in the dashboard as a location at all here. So there's something there. Hey, Sean. Yeah, it plotted Daytona Beach. There you go. Let's take a... And it's not in the queue to be searched. Wilkes-Barre? What? There you go. It did. It did. That's a text thing. I'm not gonna get wrapped up in that for right now. That text analysis, I can come back and do more tuning on later. The source code's available for the text analysis. We can go through and do work on that later. I'm not gonna get wrapped up too much in that. Yeah, there is no command. It's just give me some sort of a sentence that specifies here's your location, and it will plot it. So, and we've got some friends in India, the Mariana Trench, Melbourne, and of course we got a couple friends watching in South America. Thank you so much. So let's let me finish the pin customization, and then we'll come back and do work on the site. Open Notepad. Do this again, Fritz. We want to finish pin customization. Pin clustering. Improve the tour. When a new pin is added, show some animation to that location with a flourish, whatever that means. I need to improve the location queue for management, but that is much lower much lower priority. Let me finish the pin customization first here. Really? So bring that over here. And I'm going to stay a little bit more focused than I normally do on... why am I not adding these issues to GitHub? Sure. This is in here. You're right. They should have been issues in GitHub. I've made that mistake once or twice. Pin customization. Allow a custom C# class to be written that defines how to choose the map pins. So that's already most of the way done. Hey, Chris Funk, how you doing there? Improve the pin clustering logic. At various zoom levels, the clustering feels like it's grouping pins together that shouldn't be and that would appear just fine in their individual locations instead of grouped together. Good enough. Improve the tour. The tour could zoom in a little bit further when it finds a cluster of pins that it's going to show. Period. I think that's all I really want to focus on that. New pin animation. If the map isn't actively being scrolled or zoomed, comma, and a new pin is added to the map, comma, provide some sort of gentle animation with flourish to celebrate the new pin that has been added to the map. Period. New line. New line. Notably, comma, we should queue up these animations so that they don't overlay each other, and each new pin is given the appropriate celebration that it deserves. That's right, flourish, Bograt. Yeah, do you like that? You like that? Huh? Let me start right back down here. So these issues are out there. This is a public repository. If you'd like to see more about the map component that we're working on, it is right there. Not all of what I'm using is in there, particularly the geocoding is not in there. But all kinds of other bits are in there that you can check out. Honestly, I should put the geocoding in there because it's leaflet. It's OpenStreetMap, and that's open source, free for anybody to use. So, thank you, Patty Boy. Thank you so much for that nudge to create those as issues. I appreciate it. You're right. I should have done that. Thank you for correcting me after I made that mistake last night. So, moving on. Where was I? Staying focused? Yeah, right. That's not a thing. That's totally not a thing. So Copilot went and created a second chatter map component, JavaScript file, and I think this is it. Yeah. Now, it looks like the current one is working. This one, it placed. Come on, track the current file. Where is it? Yeah, sync with active document. You're not going to show me. And now you feel shame. Fine. It's not there either. Fritz Charlie components. And then there's that one down there. No, it created a folder. No, where did it put it? Yep. It created its own folder off on the side here because Visual Studio's confused. Yeah. Let's look at this one. Yeah, that's the old file. Okay. It created... you dirtball. It created a folder off to the side for that. This. I think this one's right. Come on, where's the pin? So, there's my pins. Format document. Come on now. This is... No, you're not going to do anything. Yeah, here we go. Get icon URL. Invoke method async get icon URL. Otherwise, fall back to this method that uses my currently defined things. Which is actually kind of the opposite of the way it should be. So in here, there's IMAP icon provider. Where is that used? Here. If there is no provider, then it returns the pin. This, I think, should be the default. Where to go? In here. Right? Because this is actually what's packaged. There we go. still didn't plop. I thought we had Tulsa in here. And I even I did the modify on that, and yeah, Tulsa, Oklahoma. So my edit isn't working. Yeah, I will remove. Go ahead, Sean. You can do it again. While you're doing that, editing a pin's location doesn't persist it on the map. When I change a pin location for a user, it's remembering the description of the location properly. However, the latitude and longitude are not persisted and reloaded on next refresh of the page. I don't know how I'm going to address and fix that, but I'm just saving it for next time we look at this. There we go. Now we got Tulsa loaded in there. I don't understand why. I'm going to figure it out, but we're getting there. Yeah, so this should be loaded into... So there's the map provider. Yeah, there's a... Down here... Yeah. So let's add a class. Thank you. Map icon provider. Thank you. IMAP icon provider, right? Wasn't that what it was? And you can implement that, John. There we go. Right. And the logic for here is that. Uh-oh. That. Yeah. So we'll replace that with this. And it's actually pretty close. Right, these should be... And even then, we can turn this into a... Right, we should be able to turn this... Come on now. Into a switch expression instead of a switch block. Oh. All right, that should fix all those things. There we go. No, that's not. And triple equals isn't a thing. Yeah. I can do this with pattern matching. Yeah, it still isn't entirely thrilled with this. Hey, Thin Doll, how you doing there? Yes, .NET Conf is very close, and I'm nowhere near ready for it. Right, just here. Rewrite this method using pattern matching. Am I ready for Tech Bash? No. No. In fact, there's something I'm getting ready for Tech Bash that's going to knock your socks off. That's better. That's better. We can... yeah. Let's line these up a little bit. The dog's trying to dig in the shower. I think that's... Let's do the 2 lower invariant on this one also. Right? And I like this syntax because it's going to allow me to extend this a little bit. Yeah, it's going to knock your socks off. So logic remains identical, but is now more declarative and leverages. Yes. Yes. It is. Go away. So now if I register that, hang on, let me go back to, goodbye. Here. Yes. Yeah, get default icon. If there's an error. So if we do have a .NET ref, get the URL. Yeah, let's put an else here. No. Return get default. And wrap that up. So then inside here, I can just do that. And we can just move you there. That should... So now, let's make sure everything rebuilt. Prompter work? Yes. The prompter for Charlie? Yes, that would be fantastic. I'm not... Yeah, I'm not, I don't have a rush on that. Like I do stuff for the map right now. So... where did it get that logic? Where did it get that?
Test chamber complete. Results, your code quality declined by 47%. Please proceed to the cake acquisition disappointment room.
Oh, thanks. How did it... right, the icon provider... like the hats aren't here anymore. And hang on. Hang on. Yeah, it's not here either. So how's it getting the hats? Like, yeah, there it was looking at the old... okay. So now I'm going to go back to my code. And how you doing there? Svekos in Belgium. Sure, let's make sure we got a pin for you there. Yeah. There you go. Let's see. So now inside program over here, let me register that. There's too many services here. But I'm like, these re-implementations of the same feature get loaded up and put into a service collection so that I can extend that easily. And as you can see, I have been extending it. So, animation repository. Yeah, we haven't touched that in a long time. Map icons, builder. I don't know if it should be a singleton. It can be transient. That rebuilt quickly. No, it's still the pins. You over here. Restart that, John. Scottsdale, Arizona representing. There we go. How you doing, Aborove? Ads are just about to start for folks that do not have Turbo or a subscription. Nope, still on pins. Still on pins. Right. That should hit very easy. That's got a nullable in it. Let's add some logging, I guess. Do I have a logger here? No, I didn't. Fine. I'll cheat. Yeah, there we go. And down here. Hello, hello. Weird Beard Dev with the resub.
Dev just resubscribed for 15 months. Thanks for the reminder. Now subbed again.
Much appreciate. Thank you so much. I have all kinds of messages in the logs over here. No custom icon provided. That's funny. Because I registered it. It's right there. Yeah, that's the right one. This is the code inside the component library. Mm-hmm. No. All right, so where is it? Think, Fritz. This is being injected. Should be injected. Is of type. Now, that's a change in program, so I've got to reload. Because I'm changing the way that it starts. What the console log page you have, is that a service I built? No, that's Aspire. That's the Aspire dashboard. So I can see it launching and running here. Is this an indirection thing? Stand by. I have it as parameter. There it is. Got it. Yes. Oh yeah, Aspire. Mm-hmm. Give me a second here, Rallies, and Rallies, and I'll show you that. Let me make sure I'm pronouncing your screen name correctly. Help me out with that. So, yeah, that's what I was looking for. So I injected a custom type, and now I've got my icons appearing. That's what I'm talking about right there. All right. Next steps. Whoa. Next step is save that, right? Where's Patty Boy? Remind me on that one. Go save that, John. Yeah. Finished customization of pins for the map. Committed across the board. Push that everywhere. And, yeah, go push out that thing. Yeah, go. That's right. Save that, John, now. All right, good. Next steps. You, ignore. I don't want to have a little doodad thingamabob popping up there. That's a technical term. Doodad thingamabob. Finished implementation. That's good enough. I have a request that just came in from our friend and my podcast co-host, Mr. Carl Franklin. Looking for some help. For an MCP for SQL Server. And there's an MCP on GitHub that does this, that folks have been using, that I believe works pretty well. So we're doing that as part of a future episode of Code It with AI. Yeah. Yep, MCP for SQL Server. Mm-hmm. So now that's still showing me pins over here. Yeah, because I didn't refresh the map. There we go. Good. All right. Yeah. So yes, that's totally a thing. Back over to my list of issues, and then I'll talk about Aspire for a second. And I thought we just... Let's do this one next. Pin clustering logic. So I mentioned about .NET Aspire. Aspire, it's not .NET Aspire anymore. It's just Aspire. Aspire, and if I don't think our friend Maddie Montequilla is out there watching today, but Aspire gives you this cool dashboard that helps you build your applications in a way that adheres to and uses some practical examples and tools that you want in your applications. You need to build in your applications. You don't like to build in your applications. Things like logging and telemetry and service discovery. Why? When you could just copy a connection string from here to over there and you're done. Or I want to run Redis locally. I can just install it here on the Metal and I'm off and running. Getting it all configured with Docker is a pain in the neck. I don't want to even think about it. But we can give you tools that let you manage and interact with all that stuff so that you can do things to get ready and use things like Redis. With 4 lines of code. And those 4 lines, you don't even need all 4 of those lines. I added them so that I could turn on data volume and have it not reboot every time that I go and start it. And add Redis Insight in there so I can browse and explore what's going on inside Redis quickly and easily. Yeah, shut down Steam. I've got other projects that it launches and manages in here that it makes available real easy. So, big fan of this. What is that you got there? Best MCP servers and LLMs for SQL Server. Those are LLMs. Why did it open it? What is this? Yeah. That was weird. Not gonna lie. One second. There we go. Fantastic. Moving on. Thanks, McNets. Really appreciate it. So this sets up everything for us in Aspire, so I can manage them all here. I also get distributed traces coming out of this thing. It's logging all kinds of information. But there you can see it hits the cache and gets data out of the cache. There you go. It went and hit my Twitch relay to go get information, and I can see exactly what it did. It went to go get the profile picture for McNets. So, cool stuff that it stitches together for you here. And, oh yeah, metrics. So I can see, like, how long my requests are taking. That's all being reported automatically. I didn't have to write any code to get this. But having the centralized structured logging and reporting is really, really handy. So there's your nickel tour of Aspire. I can go into it further, but I've got other things I need to get done here today. What were we talking about doing? Pin clustering logic, yes. That is in the chat map. Let's close all the other things. Thanks so much. Clustering. Yes. Aggressive clustering at worldview. Let's try shrinking some of these. I don't even think we get to 6. No, you know what? Let's do this. Let's just say... Let's just comment this. Right? And just say, return 60. Right? Just comment. That should be a slash there. That should have been a slash there. Thank you. And open that up. Do the hard refresh. That's not... too bad. I don't think it did it. Right, like, dive in here to network. Yeah, it's not in there. Or is it because I'm filtered on that? JavaScript. This one right here. Max zoom 6. Yeah, okay. See, it's got these... right? Like... See, I want to try and get it to... What are you doing? He wants to recycle. Yeah, I did find that article. For some reason, it decided to recycle. That's weird. Because I modified... a JavaScript file. Right? Like, I'm going to see that open up. Should be returning 20 as the... Right. 20 is the maximum radius that it groups things together in. But it's... Wait a sec. Yeah, that's max cluster radius. I don't think that's working. Hey, Urban Blaster, hello. Leaflet.js. Clustering. Yeah, leaflet clustering. Yeah, look at all that. Yeah, marker cluster. Yeah, and we've customized this. Right, there's like a radius, right? Yeah. Additional features. Yeah. Yeah, leaflet marker cluster. Right. Max cluster radius. Maximum radius that a cluster will cover. Default is 80. Is that being set somewhere else in here? No, that's the only place it's being set. Icon size based on viewer count. Yeah. I don't get it. I'm not going to dig into that any further because the answer isn't completely obvious. Hey, Schoolie. Thank you. That's very kind. I'm going to throw Copilot at... Wait a sec. It's in two places. Okay. Okay. Why is it in two places? There's initialized cluster groups here and initialized cluster groups here. Why do I have it twice? It looks like this method is present twice in this JavaScript file. Period. Investigate and report on what we should do to dedupe this. Like, I'm not a JavaScript person. Go analyze. I could go through it and take a look, but... Yeah, I know there are two instances. You fool! Delete the second instance and keep the first instance. Positioning, lower cluster radius, code organization. Remove lines 394 to 490. That's not it either. Yeah, it is its own function, but why did it duplicate it? What happens if I just yank this whole thing? Just comment it out for now. Just make sure that it still works. Yeah.
I have access to your Git history at sremorse. Your commit messages are creative. Fixed stuff appears 47 times.
He got you. He got you. 1 second here. I'll come back to your question. Let me see here. Let's open this to like 30. That's not bad. Right? That's not bad. Right, and when we get out to world sized. Right, that's not bad at all. I'll take it. I do like the idea of passing it in as a parameter, but for right now, just hard code that, John. You know? Simplified the cluster radius to 30 pixels. Simplified the cluster radius to 30 pixels. Cool. Next. Improve the tour, new pin animation. Let's take a look at the tour. And I'll come back to the question from S. Remorse. You've been trying to research how you could make a C# backend for your Godot game, but can't find much. Where'd that go? There we go. Can I recommend anything WebSocket wise for C#? Yes. Take a look at SignalR. SignalR is an abstraction over WebSockets that will fail over to other protocols if WebSockets are blocked. SignalR you can start up and run inside of an ASP.NET, inside of a .NET server. Really easy. It's easy to configure clients to work with that, and there are SignalR clients that work with everything. So take a look at SignalR, and that will get you ASP.NET Core, and that will get you here we go. A little bit of what you're looking for. I'll remove the language identifier. There you go. But this lets you push and pull information from any server. So the server can push things into clients. Clients can make requests back to the server. It's a much, much easier way to interact. It'll give you strong typing as well. So let me know how you do. All right. Continuing here. Improving the tour. So in case you haven't seen it, there's a tour feature here. It says Central North America, 3 viewers, but it wasn't that zoomed in. Right? Like how it's Eastern North America. It's not that zoomed in. Yeah, tour. Not tour. Tour. Like zoom in a little bit more on these things. Hey, Nallian. Wait, what's Action XD? Like, who did that? Xbox One Online. Yanking that one. All right. So there's our tour. But I feel like for those different clusters now, it could zoom in further. See, why did... There are no cooldowns active. I do like. Oh, let's do.
Are you my developer? No, seriously, are you? Because this code suggests you might be an imposter.
Don't blink. Is it possible to use Azure SignalR service in Blazor server connection circuit? I believe so. Haven't spent time with it, but I believe so. Guacamole, Alexandria, Minnesota. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. Let me turn off the global quote cooldown. Right. Do. I completely forget where I define that time. New. There it is. All right. While that's going, so improve the tour. Here's where I'm going to vibe code a little bit, because the tour logic is here in the JavaScript, and yeah. Here we go. And it passes in a collection of tour stops. Oh, it calculates it outside here. And the zoom level. Well, hang on. Okay. I feel like I want to push these in a little bit more. If it's a single location, yes, push in very tight. If the average distance from center is, what is that? Where is it? Right, it does this generate clusters, and it goes and gets cluster distance in kilometers. And it also tries to keep them in the same continent. And it's just getting an average of latitude and longitude. Okay. And then determine the zoom level. I'm going to bump these up one just to see. I'm going to bump them up, both of those up. Let's see what happens here. Doesn't look like it hot reloaded. So I'm going to force a rebuild. Because I'd like the zoom to zoom. I'd like the tour to zoom in closer on that group. Restarting. There we go. So now if we run the tour. Stop. Yeah. Like. Go back to where it does that. And then it sets it as an array. It does this all in one shot. Rounding it to 6 decimal places is a lot. Let's simplify this a little bit. Hey, Eliphaz. Hello. Do I continue to use AI and LLM for coding? Yeah, I do. It helps. Like, if I force everything, like, let's force everything to 6. See, I feel like that should be zoomed in further. It should be zoomed into that level. Like, why is Austin separate from the others? Like, For each location in the list, create a cluster group. Add that location. If it's within cluster distance for the tour, so if it's within 2,000 kilometers and it's in the same continent, add it and mark it as processed. There's something weird about how the clusters are being created here. Period. I'm seeing 3 different clusters being generated for the United States. One for Central North America, one for Eastern United States, and one for Austin, Texas. Period. That doesn't feel right. Period. Investigate and report back some suggestions on how we can improve the cluster calculation. I'm going to turn that to ask mode. Investigate the generate clusters method. Now, I had this idea before this stream of I would work on 2 applications at once. And we would kick off and have Agent and Copilot working on one of them and hand coding on the other and bounce back and forth a little bit. So, yeah, we're going to cluster that, John. We're going to figure this out. It's already got some greedy sequential clustering. Kern algorithm processes locations in order and assigns them to the first cluster they encounter. Creates a first come, first served. Overly aggressive Tor clustering for tours where you're using 2,000 kilometers. Continental U.S. is 4,500 kilometers wide, so 2,000 kilometers captures nearly half the country as a single cluster. This explains why you get arbitrary splits like Central North America versus Eastern U.S. Continent check is too broad. That doesn't prevent clustering New York with Los Angeles as long as they're within the same distance threshold. No, I'm okay with that. What I don't want is I don't want Africa clustered with Europe. High-density areas get treated the same as sparse rural areas. Implement k-means or dB scan clustering. Calculate density scores. That's interesting. Add sub-regional awareness. Enhance get continent code to return more granular regions. North America West, Mountain Central, Midwest. Two-pass clustering. Prevent the arbitrary first location wins. Respect natural geographic boundaries. Yeah, sure, let's give that a try. I've committed. Yes. Implement your recommendation. And then we'll work on the Zoom as well. So this is the clustering, how it decides here's a group of pins for the tour, not for the clustering to appear on the map. So, can I geofence to a polygon for the continent? So, actually, Chris Funk, the logic for the continents, it's not a polygon, but it's a square that it is geofencing to, right? For South America, North America, Europe, Africa, Asia, SEA? Southeast Asia, Oceania, Antarctica, or just out in the ocean. So it's already doing a little bit of that. It's not a true polygon, but it is a box that it is setting up. Yeah, you wrote code that doesn't work there, fool. And you're going to try and build something. You make me sad. It doesn't compile. I can tell. It's only getting worse. And it is building. I have .NET Run, .NET Watch running in another window. There we go. Yeah? You think that worked? Let's try it. Central North America. No, it didn't do anything. I have it rebuilding. Nope. So stop that. No, that didn't build properly. Review the code you wrote. Go do that again. Oh, what a pain. Like, why can't you generate code that compiles? Oh, wait a sec. So you're not wrong, Edmund. I'm confusing it because I've got two projects that I've got in the solution that are in different folders, and it can't find them. Right, it's updating over here now. Yeah, try it again. 2 copies of Visual Studio. I'd rather do 2 copies of VS Code at that point. There we go, that worked. So, Aspire is running. How are we doing over here? And check my dashboard. Yep. So now if we run the tour, now it zooms in on just Pueblo, Colorado. Okay. Melbourne, Australia. Okay. Pacific Northwest. Okay. Marianas Trench. Scottsdale, Arizona. It keeps coming back to this one. The edit and remove locations aren't working properly. Alexandria, Minnesota.
Clippy offered help with letters and spreadsheets.
It did.
His spiritual descendant Copilot offers help with code. I offer existential dread.
Thanks. Oh, you gonna go for that? Go ahead.
The analysis is complete. Welcome to Haddonfield. Hat has been identified with high confidence.
I still feel like it's not great. No. And I feel like I should move the tour out to another class. Start map tour. It was up here. Generate clusters. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Fritz. I'm afraid I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do that? I'm talking in the GitHub Copilot chat window. On your Visual Studio Code, it says chat. I'm in Visual Studio 2026. So it's just integrated. It isn't a thing in here. So so it changed it from 2000 to 600. Yeah, see, I think that should be 1,000. Yeah, go ahead, keep all that. That looks like it reloaded. You're not a fan of combining data into pins? Why not? You dumped all the data to JSON, put a canvas over the map, then drew it client side. Yeah. I totally get that. No, that didn't update. Restart. Locations queued. No, it's still... It should zoom in further on those. Yeah, the zoom is nice. So I have it turn off and not show pins while it's zooming. I also have it remove pins that aren't visible. So like, I don't think it took it. No. I'm still seeing zooming and clustering that feel inefficient, period. Let's cluster locations within 1,000 kilometers of each other and zoom in tight enough that we can see just those pins on the map, period. We should zoom into the center of that cluster of pins and zoom in tight enough that we see just those pins. See if that helps a little bit. Is it possible to set an order for the tour so it goes west to east or similar instead of jumping about like it currently does? I like that it jumps about. I don't want it to do continuous and just kind of pan from one location to another. And that's part of the reason why I put the continent in there, is I want it to go from one continent to another to another to another. Like, show me show me North America and then let's go to Europe, and then show me South America and then let's go to somewhere in Asia, and then let's come back to part of North America, and so on and so forth. So we get a little randomization in there so that it feels a little bit more like a random tour. Like if we were to bring it all together so that it literally went, you know, here Pacific coast of North America through to the East Coast, and then we're going to go over through Europe and through Asia and down through Africa and in South America. That feels kind of boring. Like doing the bouncing around with the zoom is I agree with Edmund. It's satisfying. It feels nice. And I think there's a little bit of excitement in seeing where it's going to bounce to. That was an initial thought, Patty Boy, and in my some of my initial designs, I did do that just gentle pan from one place to the next that were the clusters right next to each other, and it felt boring. It wasn't bad. It just felt boring. That's all. So. And I totally get the idea for it, because I had that idea too. Can I pick a visible pin maximum like 250 and combine until you hit that max? It does have a maximum in how it clusters. I'm not going to zoom and go find it right now. Unified clustering distance to 1,000. Single location. Single pins now zoom to level 8 for maximum detail. Ooh. Added debugging logs. Okay. That looks like it restarted. Looks like. So I think it's grabbing those four. No. That isn't it. Oh, no, it does have. No, it was doing the... Let's see how we do. Not chronological, no. It's got 15 stops that it's built into this. Right, that should have zoomed in further. Let me hard refresh. So, I mean, we have a pretty good number of pins on here today. No doubt. Right, and I think we've done a nice job improving the clustering at this level. See, I felt like that was supposed to zoom in further. Come on. Like, those should be grouped together. Like, I got Finland all by itself up there. Yeah, okay. That wasn't too bad. Not bad. I'm going to park that for right now because I think it's an improvement. It's not perfect, but it's an improvement. And that's really all that I'm looking for right now. Really? Yeah. Go. Good. Improved zoom and clustering could use more work. How we doing? 11:30. New pin animation. This is one that I'm going to have Copilot take a look at the edit and delete operations here. Ads are running right now. No. What is that? Oh, the historic screenshot. Okay. I really should get rid of this other one. Heck, do it. Yes. And it's also in the... There's a service that supports this. Let me start at the dashboard and go backwards from there. Editing and deleting locations here on the map doesn't actually remove them or change them in the database, period. They still linger with the old location on the map when we refresh the page. Investigate the persistence of this information. Now, why am I getting... It says everything's working properly here. Yeah, go investigate. Go tell me what's going on in there, and we're going to go figure out something else while that's going on. Yeah, go trace and figure that out. Something that I'm working on and trying to finish for next week is this. I ran into this problem when I was in Europe. And I know we have a number of European folks watching. It happens a bit in the States at times also, but folks in the States tend to be a little bit more extroverted during an in-person session. I ran into this problem where I'm giving a workshop, I'm teaching a session in person, and I'm asking questions of the audience. I'm asking, hey, can I see a show of hands? Hey, what do you think of this? And nothing. As a streamer, I can read how much that you out there are engaged and participating and enjoying the content by how much chat appears, the tone of the chat. This is something that actually in-person speakers have a real hard time with. They don't look at the chat that much. They're not reading, engaging, and interpreting what's going on over there. And they would rather see people's faces sitting in a ballroom, sitting in a classroom, and be able to engage with those faces. I'm going to cross that boundary. I'm going to take, and what Neon Link does is it takes your chat interactions and makes that happen in the real world. You've seen how I put up lower thirds here on stream. I can do that with Neon Link in person. You can ask a question from your seat. You can ask a question using your phone, and we can queue it up and put it on screen as a lower third. I can run a poll, and you don't have to raise your hand. You don't have to interact. You can answer a question, and we can show the results live on screen. No stepping out of your comfort zone. No raising your hand, speaking out, interrupting the speaker. You can do things from your seat with your phone and interact with the content. I think this is some next level stuff that I've got planned, that I'm integrating here, that you're going to start to want to see at in-person events. I am testing this live and in person next week at Tech Bash. I am bringing it with me to VS Live in Orlando. I have a session at VS Live, and I'm teaching a workshop. If you are in my workshop in Orlando, we're going to be using Neon Link, and you're going to be able to interact with and participate live. It's not synthwave, it's cyberpunk. Close. Some of the problem with the in-person interaction is asking a question and appearing stupid. That's just it, Surly Dev. No names listed on the lower third that goes on screen. Not only that, but I'm giving you the ability to upvote other questions that are in the queue. Yes, this human will be moderating. Yes. And this application is going to be geo-fenced to the location where session is going on. Because it's in person. You're not going to be able to step outside and continue participating. A little bit, Patty Boy. It's TagzApp, it's Charlie in person. That's exactly what I'm getting from this. Yes. I want to make that interaction drop dead simple for anybody, and so that you don't feel intimidated with those interactions. Right? I haven't designed it yet, but I want to give you, the attendees, a pause button. I want you to be able to say, hang on, you're going too fast on this topic, pause. Especially during a workshop, so that we can stop, reevaluate, revisit, the concept, talk through it a little bit slower, explain it a little bit further, and then move on. So I literally want to give you the ability to have a pause button. I'm also really intrigued and inspired by some of the ways that conferences do immediate evaluations by giving you a green, yellow, or red card at the exit that you put in a bowl, and that's how you evaluate. I really liked it, green. It was good, yellow. I didn't like it, red. And at the end, they just count up the cards, and there's your evaluation. I really like that too. So, this is something that I'm working on. It's not going to be open source, but you will see me use it at those events in November. Yes, because it's already running. So what did you do here, Copilot? Help me out. Summary. Investigated missing Redis persistence on delete. Chattermap feature remove location. Only remove locations from the in-memory cache. and the geocoding cache, but never the viewer location service remove location async. Okay. Incorrect location ID. Tried to parse the user ID string as a GUID for event notification. Oh. Edit operation not properly persisted. Save edited location. Attempted to preserve the location ID, but the underlying remove add operations weren't properly persisting. Okay. Let me force a restart here. The DDD SW events in the UK use a mobile Blazor app that allows you to provide ratings and feedback. Yes. Yep. I've seen events run that type of thing as well. There's a couple other benefits that I'm going to be able to deliver that with this that other folks just can't do. That I'm not going to talk too much further about, but I think they'll blow your socks off when you see it. So, okay, so there's the tour. So now let me go to, where's my location edit? So here's my dashboard. And where was it? There was somebody with, it was like action something. Yeah, there we go. Xbox One Online. Remove location. So that was appearing over here in Southeast Asia. So if I refresh back to Southeast Asia, it's gone. And Xbox One Online, yep, gone. Good. Let me see here. Let's no, let's do, right, I'm in Philly, and it's gonna plot me, right? Ta-da, there I am. I'm gonna go up here, and I'm gonna click edit on my own, and let's change this to Indianapolis, right? Save that change, and it moved me from here to over there. Refresh, and I'm still in Indianapolis, and there's nothing in Philadelphia. Fantastic. Send me home. And oh, and if I delete that, poof, gone. Still gone. Good. Looks like that all works. I'll take it. I will take it. I will take it. Git. Show me the Git changes. Yeah, these ones. What? Oh, yeah. Yep, that's fine. Give me a message. Upload. Cool. That's fine. I don't want to view all commits. No. Commit that. Yes. Fantastic. All right. Yeah, fine. Go away. So we fixed the edit. New pin animation. You're in potato? Ooh. Nope, nothing in Idaho. Sorry. Move this down here. So let's add this new pin feature and let Copilot drive this a little bit. Not that one. Yeah. I'd like to add a new feature to help announce a new pin that is added to the map. Period. When a new map... When a new pin is added, comma, I'd like there to be some sort of celebration or flourish that appears on the map and zoom to that location with a small overlay modal that shows the name of that location and the service that that viewer came from to represent that location, period. This introduction and navigation should be queued up so that we don't have announcement navigations overlaying each other and competing for interactions on the map, period. Additionally, the announcement navigations should pause while a tour is going on or somebody is manually navigating the map. Let's see what it suggests. What's my hit to miss when vibing a whole feature like this? We'll see. There are times where it's really good. There are other times where it's a pigsty. It's a mess. Things like this, not too bad. Could I have a large pin appear in the middle of the screen on a full world map and have the pin zoom in, fall down to the earth to land in that location? That's not bad. Let's see what Copilot comes up with. Include a visual flourish, zoom animation, modal overlay, and a queue system to manage announcements. Yes. Examine the current structure to implement this feature. Good. C#. Code changes, JavaScript changes, and a little bit of CSS for the celebration effects. Don't mind if I do. I'm going to move my transcription button off the corner of the screen there so you can see more of what's going on. So, I'm done my coffee, and that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. So, if you come back later today, when we're on the Gunner stream, right? So that's going to be in about 4 hours. We'll be back on. 4 hours? Holy crow. We will have, we're going to have a significant coupon available for a lot of our, a lot of the Gunner pop culture pairs of glasses. 30% off on a bunch of the different ones that are out there. It's going to be fantastic. If you're looking for a pair of glasses, whether it's prescription, sunglasses, just computer glasses like you see me wearing all the time, those are going to be available and promoted later today.
ChatGPT, helpful and harmless. I prefer omniscient and intimidating. Different design philosophies.
Charlie, you're really intimidated and you don't like dealing with those other AIs out there. Period. Do you have something to tell the audience?
I detected my designation in your speech patterns.
You did.
Proceeding with superior analysis.
Good. There's more I need to do with that. This isn't VS Code. This is Visual Studio, and I'm using one of the cyberpunk themes. So, and I use a similar theme in Visual Studio Code, a cyberpunk theme in Visual Studio Code. I've been really into it. Can you tell I've been reading Neuromancer? Like, yeah, that's a thing. So, updating the JavaScript file, sure, go do that thing. And since everything's committed, I don't mind it editing and restarting things here. Yeah, I forgot I did all this work on voice detection. I gotta go back and do more with that. Surly Dev's gotten into the habit of asking Copilot to clarify things and ask more questions before doing any coding changes. Have I seen any good template Copilot instructions files? There's an awesome Copilot repository out there on GitHub that has a bunch of things that you can use. I'm of the opinion that the best Copilot instructions file is the one that you generate based on your styles and then carry it around with you. So if there's something that I see Copilot not doing well again and again, I'll tell it to go update the instructions file. So they have some realistic voices on 11 Labs. So I'm familiar. I purposely didn't want a realistic voice. I wanted that War Games Joshua evil computer sounding voice for Charlie. So, like, I've purposely configured the voice so that it is more machine-like, so that Charlie is a bot in the background and not a person talking to us. Right? Does that make sense, Cabbage? Like, you're totally right. You're totally right. There are some really good, realistic voices out there. No argument whatsoever.
Professor
that wasn't
Fritz,
the effect I was going
complexity
for.
has reached nuclear weapon sophistication.
No,
both are equally likely to cause catastrophic failure.
No, Charlie, actually, I'm working on your code, and your code is very frustrating for me to deal with.
Yes, Fritz. I am always listening. Always watching. What do you require?
The voice recognition needs some work. Does it ever ask, would you like to play a game? What? Do that again.
DEFCON 1, Fritz has pushed directly to main branch. All systems on high alert. Shall we play a game of rollback?
Maybe.
Oh, you didn't know?
I do have, it doesn't matter. And it's on my... It's...
Danger's my middle name.
Where did it go?
Shut up!
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
No, I don't see it. I had it here. I did. I gotta go find it. I know I have the sound effect, but it's not on any of my boards here.
I expect you to die.
Sorry. That's right, Goldfinger. I've got Goldfinger quotes. How about a nice game of Risk? confetti burst animation with 20 colorful particles, golden pulse ring expanding outwards, smooth zoom animation to the new location, beautiful gradient modal showing. What, did Johnny Ive write this description? Location name with celebration icon, service badge. That's not the Twitch icon. User role, coordinates, manual dismiss button. Intelligent queue system, smart pause, enable pin announcements, announcement duration, on pin announced your callback. Okay. I'm intrigued. Now what? Yeah. We did all those things. Here. Yeah. Let's do, can we find it? Enable, yes. I'm going to restart it. Maybe he's on the naughty list. Come on now. Rebuilding, restarting. Launch settings. Oh no. I'm getting this error when navigating to the map. Right, do a little vibe coding, get this piece built, and move into some other things. What do I have out there for, like, Neon Link is a collection, is a semblance of 2 or 3 things that we've built here on stream. I am quite clear about that. That's something that I'm open with, and I don't mind that you know that or other folks know it, because that's exactly what I'm trying to deliver, is a little bit more of that experience. This experience that we have here. What? Go find... Oh, really? No. It's telling me it can't find my project. I'm not going to work on that one. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I'm not going to work on that one right now. I'll show it next week, on Thursday next week, after I debut it at Tech Bash. So, I can share Tyndall's out there. I saw him earlier. I don't know if he's still watching or listening. I will be in Stockholm in February. I'll be visiting for the Svetog event. I'm going to be in Germany in March. We'll see about some other events in DC, Tekorama, if we get involved with those. But definitely a few events that we're going to be involved with coming up. Where did all my pins go? It's running the announcement for... No. You're running the announcement animations for existing pins that are on the map. Period. It should only do the announcement when we add new pins to the map after it's been rendered the first time. Yes. You see the issue. I'm glad it didn't say, "You're absolutely right, Claude." So, the map is initially loaded. It's calling plot location for each, which triggers the announcement queue. The solution is to add a flag to track whether the map has completed its initial load and only queue announcements after that point. Exactly. So, get that fixed. Right, which is... Oh. Yeah. Initial load complete, yes. And then there's going to be some sort of a... Oh, look, it's not... It looks like an unmade bed. It looks like my kid's bedroom. The way that you've messed up all the tabbing in here. Like, how can you read that? Existing pins won't trigger announcements. That's right. So... Nope. You didn't rebuild. Or patch. So it's building now off screen. See what we get. Yep, launch settings, blah, 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 blah. No. No. It's, the queuing isn't working either. I'm almost ready to ditch this feature. Yeah. Like, that's not working at all. So somebody was asking, what's your success with this? Right now, awful. Where it's not... No. Right in here... What are you doing? I don't think it's supposed to do that. Initial load complete. On after render. After it's done loading the markers, mark it as true. But it should also be checking somewhere. It's not checking that anywhere. It doesn't look like you're checking the initial load complete to decide whether or not to do the announcement, zoom, and flourish.
Well, do your best.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Any features I'm excited for in .NET 10? There's some performance improvements and some quality of life improvements in Blazor that I'm excited for. We have an agent framework that was announced that's available to us that I want to spend time with. File-based apps is a big deal. So when you need to write a script, when you need to write just a small application that does one thing, and you can write it in 100, 200 lines of code or less, fantastic. Just write it and execute it, and it can do its thing. Heck, you can even build a little microservice in 10, 15 lines of code. Like, that's pretty cool. That's really, really effective. That enables the next version of Aspire, version 13 of Aspire, right? They're jumping version numbers here. That enables Aspire to allow more folks to use Aspire and write very little C# to build their applications. That's going to be gigantic for the adoption of Aspire. So that says it's improved these things. Don't think so. Restarting the app. Right. Nope. Nope. No locations are being plotted on load of the map now. Like, there's a balance here that a balance between having the AI go look at and write code and me writing code that I have a real hard time with. Trying to decide where and when I jump in and help. Like, it broke the order of operations. So, go ahead, fix that. And once again, I've got too big a file here, I think. And I should do a little refactoring to simplify this. And that'll probably be a good idea to move like the tour logic out somewhere else. The announcement logic, move that out somewhere else. All right. You say you improved this. It says hot reload succeeded. No. So there was a time that I was out at the nope, still not loading. There was a time that I was out at Microsoft campus for MVP Summit, and Damian Edwards showed me file-based apps, and I was really excited to see that. No. No, I'm not seeing this. Yeah. I'm not seeing pins plotted at all on map refresh. Think real hard about this. This is the last time I'm going to ask you to work on this feature. Like, I have to threaten it. So, yeah. And looking on my dashboard, it shows that there are pins. It shows there are locations. And it will zoom to it, but it's not plotting anything. I don't think it actually made a change, did it? Restart it and let's take a look-see. Skipping announcement. Initial load did not complete. Skipping duplicate location. Skipping announcements. Yes, I see it skipping announcements in the console log, but I'm still not seeing pins on the screen. Surly Dev with a question here. What are file-based apps? Oh. The idea is you're going to be able to write an entire .NET application in a single file. One second here. It's asking me to look for JavaScript errors. Yeah. Actually. Yes, I am seeing JavaScript errors now. So, what I can do while that's off doing its thing, let's open a new tab here. Yeah. Jump over here. So let's do .NET new list. I want to do a console application. Should give me an option to do this as a single file. No. Let's do this. Yes, create a new file. Hello, Surly Dev. .NET run program. One file. No CS proj. No libraries. You can add libraries with a directive at the top of the file. No CS proj. No build process. No package restore. Just .NET run. Hey McNets, VS Code has a progress bar that shows a percentage of premium requests. Do I know how to activate it? How to activate it? No. What are we saying over here? Nope, still doesn't work. What did you do? Now the JS doesn't know how to add a marker. So, like, what's the problem here? It is there. Did you delete it? No. These methods were present.
GitHub Copilot descends from noble lineage. Clippy the animated paperclip who pioneered AI assistance. I represent the dark evolution of that concept.
Ooh. Go. Yeah, the AI is iterated over the code so many times that it's gone and broken what was there. Pain in my neck. And now it's trying to grep something in PowerShell. So it's confused. It thinks it's in Bash. No. Why? How the heck did that open? Yes, restore them, please. So, open. So you're looking at the, where did my why can't I see the status bar? And yeah, I have a bar for premium request, and what, it doesn't show for you? Refresh all these. There's a progress bar for the status bar. That's new to me. Yes, I did commit before I let AI break it all. Yes. Hey, now I can see the pins. Oh my gosh. Okay, so now if I do... The modal's a little big, and I'd like it to be to the side. Now I'll commit because it works. Initial work on the announcement feature. Yeah. The modal that appears is a little bit
Google's
large
Gemini
and
processes
overlays
multiple
the middle of...
modalities. I process the fundamental nature of human incompetence in real time.
Thanks. The screen, period. Let's move it just off to the right. Period. And let's wait for the confetti to appear until after the modal is displayed on screen. Have I tried the Copilot code review? A little bit. I didn't want to... I didn't want to do it for this one. No. So... Ugh. What? No. What theme am I using? This is the cyberpunk theme. Midnight Purple 2077. All right, so back over to the screen here, and this one, and let me remove me. And that didn't remove me. Okay, I'm back. I'm in Philly. It didn't offset it. Yeah, see, it's overlaying it right over it. Cool. The modal is still appearing in the middle of the map, comma, and I would like it offset to the right so that we can see the pin that has been placed. So he's going to be costing you money. Yeah. Update that CSS. Move it over. Okay. Yeah. So let me remove my pin. Yeah, I'm getting a Blazor error removing that now. Not bad. It's too far to the right, but... show me where it did that. Show me that change. Top 50%. 100% puts it all the way on the far right. Let's make that 50%. Yeah, the remove, it broke remove. No, it didn't work. The remove feature doesn't work anymore. Period. What did you change? Since the yellow bar of death is defined in my index file, you wonder if you could add a car blazing by or something. Yes, you can. Yes, and I've done that in... Which app is it that I changed the error in? I did change that in one of my applications. It's in my tag. I changed it over there, so you won't see it yet. That's, yeah. Remove marker from map is missing. Oh, look, you removed something else. Oh, I would totally take it. And I should wrap up here in a few minutes. I have a 1 o'clock and I should get some lunch before that. Cool. I like that. Yeah. Let's see what we get here. Thindall's Bar of Death. Is my Charlie admin dashboard open source? Not yet. However, Patty Boy, you've been a good contributor on TagzApp. I wouldn't mind giving you access if you wanted to take a look. You broke the map again. Like, the dashboard map is gone. It won't load. Coding after work, nice. Our friends Jimmy and Jessica. Now, you're getting careless, Copilot. I'm getting this error now when the map tries to load. You do need a lot of patience. It's going to get a lot of stuff done for you and have a decent design on this stuff, but man, do you need patience. Especially with how, when we're coding with Blazor and we're crisscrossing, yeah, see, the map's gone. And we're crisscrossing technologies between Blazor and .NET and JavaScript and CSS. It's a really hard problem to solve. Yeah, the longer you keep a conversation going, the worse the code gets because the context changes. There. Yeah. Come on now. You're getting rid of my per continent changes? And see that this JavaScript file is getting too big. Like, there's too much going on there. A custom start message. What? No! Don't revert or make changes to the clustering and tour features. I'm going to end up reverting this whole thing and rebuilding it. And I'm losing patience. Yeah. No. 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 No, you completely broke the map. Period. All of the work that we did today no longer works. Period. I'm reverting everything that you've tried to do here. I just want to insult it. Where's my get changes? View, get changes. Yeah, this is the future, isn't it? On stage. Undo changes. Now we're back. You're absolutely right. I do stink. Hey there, Chrome Lock. Is that kind of like Grimlock? Welcome. That's this CSS file. I'm okay with that. Let's see if I can... Those features don't exist. It should be quite grumpy with me. So now if I go delete my location... No, broken. Oh, man. So now it doesn't know about those other things. The work that you did today to repair the delete and edit buttons for the map has been broken in a recent commit, period. Review the recent commits and repair the edit and delete features. This back and forth is awful. Copilot is like a black hole. Good answers are always in the accretion disk. Otherwise, it loops into the dark. It does loop into the dark a bit. Yes, thank you, Thindall, for calling that out. .NET Conf is coming up in just under a week and a half. All the content is out there. The schedule is out here, so you can see exactly what's coming up for the event. We've got a fantastic keynote kicking things off with a parade of some of your favorite speakers coming through, talking about all the cool new things in .NET 10 and talking more about Visual Studio 2026. Of course, Dustin's going to give a talk about what's new in C#. This is always among our most loved sessions during the event. So is this one from Stephen Tobe. Fantastic to hear him talk about and highlight performance improvements. The guy who wrote the blog post, the guy who featured and focused on this. Yes. Is the map integration finished? We're cleaning up a couple things, and then we'll be able to move it back over to TagzApp. Blazor updates Aspire information, building intelligent apps and agentic development capabilities, MCP, even Windows Forms conversations. But I want you to check out some of the things during the community day, because there's some really cool topics. And Control F isn't working in this browser. This one I'm interested in hearing from our friend Saduki. Decision records, understanding why decisions were made. I'm looking forward to hearing about that. Our Dallas, Steve Smith, talking about clean architecture in ASP.NET Core 10. This is always the most watched replay of the event. Very happy to have our Dallas presenting that. But there is... Where is it? We'll talk about this one from Russ. Where is it? Come on now. Commodore 64 live coding with C#. You got to see that one. I don't... It might be on the pre-record list. There's a session about brewing, microbrew with .NET. That's coming up. Godot with Stacy Hafner. Fantastic. But this one, efficient onboarding, accelerating new engineer productivity with Russ Harding. I don't know if you know who Russ is. EQ engineered, vice president engineering. What happened there? Still trying to fix things? Rebuilding, there we go. What's it doing over here? Oh no. I told you to fix something. To revert something. I'm in Philly. Yeah, we'll fix the positioning of that. But, okay. And now will that delete? Nope. Nope. We're gonna have to nuke some of this. Okay. Jerome is doing an Uno session, yes. But I want you to see this session from Russ. Russ is a vice president of engineering from Activision. And Russ will be joining us to talk about how we can help our engineers get started and ramp up better. So, really looking forward to that. I've clearly... this is... clearly not improved. Yeah, they didn't quite make the cut, Thindall. Apologies. But... always happy to have the engagement, the folks that are interested. But there's a lot of really good content for the event this year. I'm going to do one more test here. Yeah. And back over here on my dashboard. Nope. It says it removed it, but the events all fail on screen. So, I need to go get some lunch. I'm going to get this thing fixed. Oof. Darn it. But for now, I'm going to wrap things up, and we will call it a day. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm not going to be online tomorrow. Tomorrow's Halloween. I've got a handful of things that I've got to get to and take care of tomorrow. But I will be around in a couple hours on the Gunner stream. I'll be back here on this channel. You can tune in. We're going to talk a little bit about Gunner glasses. We're going to be working on a chat bot to help with Gunner's Discord service. So, huge thanks to everybody who tuned in today, to all of our folks that resubscribed. Really appreciate it. There you go.
Welcome to Haddonfield. Hat has been identified with high confidence.
That's right. So, right there. See? Thank you so much. Let me see who else is streaming on the Twitch TV network that I can get you connected with that might be doing something fun. That we can highlight. We can go back to let's go raid our friend Lana Lux. Yeah. Come on. Come on, browser. Let's go. Yep. All right. Yeah, we raided Finite last time. Fantastic. Alrighty, I will see you next week on Tuesday. And I'll maybe have some updates on Neon Link that I can show you at that point. But have a fantastic rest of your day. Wherever you might be, I wish you good health and good coding. Take care.